friends to IntelliGear in this review of the Victorinox Pioneer. What a great looking knife. Wearing the A-lock scales gives it a good texture for gripping besides just looking cool. A-locks is short for aluminum oxide. Not being as thick as some more famous Swiss Army models makes this the perfect pocket knife with a balanced weight and feel. Although thinner, you still have the most used tools with you. Has a good sized blade. Let's see if we can get in there. See, there we go. Victorinox. Nice mirror polish on that blade. The edge is easy to put on here as well. It's not that difficult to sharpen it. I have noticed that it doesn't hold its edge as long as a more expensive blade would, but that's okay. It's a utility knife. Yeah, it's a pocket knife. Probably aren't gonna want to use some expensive knife on some of the things you'd use this for day-to-day chores like opening boxes, cardboard, rope, things like that. And the detent, although this isn't a true locking back, it's got a very positive detent, so you don't have to worry about it folding up on you. Never had that issue. What else do we have in this? We have nice can opener. And on the end of that can opener, let's see if I can get in here where you can see, you have a small flat blade standard screwdriver, which also works pretty well for Phillips, I've found. I've had the other variant of Swiss Army knife. It's a different maker. It's not Victorinox, it's something else. And, you know, Leathermans and things like that. And I found this to be the best can opener. Believe it or not, I actually use this every day in the kitchen to open cans. I can open a can pretty much as quick as any can opener, automatic can opener that is. So it's a nice, that's nice to have right there. On the other side here, we have a larger flat blade and bottle opener, and then if you can see down here on the very end, you have if I can get in here, this guy right here. It's a wire stripper, so that comes in handy. I've actually used that. Nice to have also. And then you also have a leather awl, or a ream, I guess you could call it as well. And the way this works is there's a couple ways you can use this. I've used this to make holes in my leather belt, a new hole in my leather belt, and yeah, and actually smaller size, not a bigger size. Anyways, so staying on topic here. Yeah, so you can just use this to punch right through material, or you can give it a twisting fashion and it'll actually cut a hole. I've cut holes through wood with this as well. Obviously you could cut a hole right up to this point. If the wood was any thicker than from here to here, then you need to come in from the other side. But I found that as this tapers, the hole will be actually larger at the opening, and the further you get into the wood, it will obviously taper down. So I wouldn't suggest putting a hole in anything any thicker than the length of this, because you'll want to come around the backside. Unless you want a tapered hole, you'd need to come around to the backside and all through the other way to make it uniform with that width there. So I used to have a soldier version of this. They don't make it anymore. I had it for years and years. I bought it back in like 2000, and I loved it. It was a great knife. The shield design was a little bit different than this here. This is the more traditional, widely known Victorinox shield, but the one I had, it was more of a U-shaped shield with a cross in it. But that being said, this is, you know, just as good as a model, if not better. You know, some of the things that other one didn't have, it didn't have this lanyard loop here, and I'm actually thinking about sticking some string on there so it's easier to fish out of my pocket. So that's an added feature. And then on the back here, there's actually a flat spot now to engrave. And obviously I have my initials engraved on here, so that's what the tape is for. Just my personal privacy. But good construction. It's pop riveted together. It's all metal. You know, you don't have to worry about the scales on this breaking, like with the traditional Swiss Army knife, which I've also had. The scales will they'll get dented up, but it's going to stay together. I had an old Swiss Army knife, and this piece actually cracked from being dropped too much. So yeah, definitely a little bit more durable than the plastic. And I think it looks cooler. See if we can get in here. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see down in there, but this knife is pretty easy to keep clean. I found the only thing you really need to do, because you're gonna get pocket crud and stuff down in there, you know, you're gonna get lint down in there. The only thing I've ever done is I just turn the water on, hot water rather. I just turn on the hot water and I hold it by the end, so I don't burn myself, and I open these up and then just let the water run down in there, flush it out, hit it with a Q-tip, and you know, you need to do that probably about every 6 months just to keep the lint and stuff off of it. One other thing I didn't really mention about this all, and this might be surprising to some people, but I inherited a desk at work one time that didn't have keys for the locking drawer. So I was sitting at my desk thinking, how could I lock this? And believe it or not, this will unlock your common drawer lock. You know, not the high security ones, but just the cheapy ones that usually come with office desks. So yeah, you'd place it in blade side up here and work it back and forth just like a lockpick, and then it will open it. I've tried this on many different desks at different places I've worked. One time I even unlocked my buddy's drawer because he left his key at home and he really needed to get some stuff out of it. And yeah, so there's another use for it. And also, I just did want to point out that this is a grind cut here. This isn't really meant to be used as a knife. It's made this way so that when you're twisting through, it can cut the material, or punching through. But it's not really supposed to be used as a knife. Okay, so there you have it. The Victorinox Pioneer.